All echoes weren't made equal. Some are absolutely despised by the player base for a few simple reasons. They can drop up to 10 possible main stats, they have a 50% chance of dropping the wrong set, and they spawn in low quantities. The farming process for specific echoes, like an on-set Violet Feathered Heron, on a Sonata set like Void Thunder, can be unpredictable and time-consuming. There's a reason why a morphable 3-cost echo that grants an onset damage bonus is a premium event reward. With a pity counter of 4 on elite echo drops, and 23 Violet Feathered Herons in the world, a player can secure at minimum around 5 herons every single day through the tracking tool. But what if there was a way to get even more? To the point where you end the day with 23 Violet Feathered Echoes. I'm here today to discuss a hyper-optimized farming method that looks to maximize your echo gain in the most targeted way possible. As a disclaimer, some of these methods are some of the most time-consuming available for farming echoes in the game, but also have the highest chance of producing a desirable piece. Our process will involve taking advantage of that echo pity and its 4-count system to first build up to this pity on 3 separate elite mobs, then target our echo of choice to guarantee the drop. The process for this grinding actually takes very few inputs on the player's end. All a player has to do is mark the locations of 3 closely located elite or 3-cost mobs on their world map, and then leverage the tracking tool to highlight their desired echo. Our main focus for today will center around the prime locations, or those pity building echoes. We'll prioritize locations very close to beacons and waypoints that spawn mobs with very high density. From there, as long as those locations are marked on your world map, you can make a detour from your tracked monster to build this pity and then go back to harvest it on that echo of choice. Our first pity building location is easily the best in the game. The entirety of the Dim Forest is completely filled with 3-cost elites, primarily due to the fact that there are 45 Hoot Chief spawns every single day, and all 45 of these Hoot Chiefs are isolated in this one corner of the map. There is also an abundant number of bears and rose shrooms in the area as well, along with a few Havoc Dreadmane and Auto Puppet Scouts. This means that a player teleporting into any of the Dim Forest southern waypoints will immediately have access to a mind-numbing amount of 3-cost mobs. These elites are all situated extremely close to waypoints, and with a fast character like Verena or Alto in the party, building up pity on these mobs is an absolute breeze. All you'll want to do is ensure that you're building up this counter to 3 before moving on to your desired tracked mob. However, as you're going through the world and building up this 3-cost pity, it's important to keep in mind that a 20% base drop rate is not low. You'll get an echo on the 2nd or 3rd kill quite frequently, resetting your pity counter and requiring you to build it up all over again with this strategy. Oftentimes, it can be more beneficial to build up your elite pity to 2 and then track your desired echo for the last 2 kills. You may end up with less actual echoes, but much less time spent killing mobs. Optimization of your inventory will come at the cost of your personal time. Moving onward from the Dim Forest, the Whining Woods Mire is another fantastic location to consistently build up elite pity. This section of the map has some of the highest enemy density in the game, with an absurd number of Havoc Dreadmanes, Herons, Rose Shrooms, Chasm Guardians, and Stonewall Bracers scattered around the area. If you're a player farming Herons specifically, this is easily one of the best areas to build up pity in, as each Heron will only be a short teleport away as you build up that pity. While in this area, it is highly recommended to equip echoes like the Impermanence Heron or the Cyan Feathered Heron to gain some mobility in the air given the varying elevations in the area. While the 2 main areas mentioned have the largest density of elites in the game, if you've already visited these areas, it can be difficult to keep track of where you've slain the mobs. Fortunately, I have some key locations in other parts of the map that are very close to waypoints and also have a great grouping of enemies. Starting in the Desert Rock Highlands, The northeasternmost waypoint has immediate access to 3 stonewall bracers and a bunch of other elite mobs as you move southward. This is another great location to farm a few herons as well, as there are around 4 spawns in the area. Additionally, as you move a bit more east and downward, the Thundering Mephisis Arena, the perimeter surrounding it, is another great way to build up pity through its Chasm Guardians, Rose Shrooms, and Chase Razors. The waypoint directly to the east of the Mephisis Arena is another great location to find some Havoc Dreadmains, Auto Puppet Scouts, and Chase Razors, all a very short walk from that central waypoint. Moving a bit north from that eastern waypoint or gliding down from the northeastern waypoint, players will also have access to a group of Tambourinists, Roshrooms, and a bear to continue building up that pity even more. Rotating down to the southwestern waypoint, players can find easy access to a Stonewall Bracer, Geohide Swordian, and a bear, all within very close walking distance of that waypoint. Moving southward down the map into the Central Plains, the Resonance Beacon for the area and the waypoint directly southeast of it are 2 more fantastic spots to build up elite pity. There are 3 or more elites, all within very short walking distance of each other in these 2 locations. Additionally, the waypoint directly above Jinzhou is another fantastic spot to tackle a Dreadmane, Rostrum, and a Geohide Saurian with little downtime. Going even further southwest, the southern area of the Gorges of Spirits is another fantastic location to find 3-cost mobs. There are a huge number of Havoc Dreadmanes, Roshrooms, and an assortment of other 3-costs in the area, all within very short walking distance of each other and all very close to the waypoint. Our last location covered today will be in the port city of Guizhou. While only having 2 waypoints in the area, a player can go in virtually any direction from that middle waypoint and find a steady grouping of elite mobs. You can even utilize the teleport from the Forgery Challenge to speed up this adventure. Hopefully, this overview was helpful in highlighting a hyper-optimized strategy to farming 3-cost echoes across your account. This method can be extremely time-consuming, but undoubtedly guarantees the highest chance of your desired echo, and in turn, a greater possibility of that coveted onset elemental damage piece. If you're a player who genuinely needs only 1 more piece to fill out a character's set, this grind could be worth the effort. While the potential rewards can be great, keep in mind that the costs are going to be different for everybody. I can't imagine anything more soul-crushing than farming all 23 of those Violet Feathered Herons with this method and still not receiving anything rollable. Managing burnout is a lot more important than optimizing your characters. With that, best of luck on your grind, and keep your sanity intact as you're building out your characters.